All right, and just like Lord of the Rings, there's always a little bit more that we can do before we fully leave chapter 6. We're looking at 6.3, which is on 194. And we've returned to our old friend invoice total. And again, I did open that from the solutions files. I should have done that while you guys were watching, but anyway, I got it from my exercise starts. All right, so it was this one right there. Anyway, so let's refresh ourselves with this incredibly complex program. Notice this one's got the whole R in it. So if we go R and they go 100 or whatever, I hit the enter. There it is. If I go T, I hit the enter, and I go like X or something, I hit the enter. And I guess I can't remember if everyone's supposed to get 40% or whatever. I don't know. So we're going to get rid of that. And now let's go look at the actual code. So when you open a solution, sometimes everything isn't where you expect it to be. You got to go find it. So here I'm going to the, the master form, I guess, the invoice total. I'm going to double click on that. It's opening everything I need. And now I can actually see the design mode. All right, so the first thing it says, so again, it's 6.3 on 194, open the application. We just did that. Add a method named get invoice amount that accepts the customer type and subtotal and returns the discount percentage. All right, so it's going to basically take the customer type subtotal and it's going to return the discount percentage. And then we should test it to make sure it works. Okay, that seems pretty easy. So let's go ahead and click on the calculate button and let's go into the code. So there's our code. So here's our customer type. And there, I'm sorry, what's it doing again? Sorry, it's the customer type and subtotal. Kind of makes sense. It's basically asking for the only two fields here and it's going to spit out the discount percent. All right, so remember now we have our buddy, the old refactor thing happening here. So I tell you what, I know I did look at, believe it or not, I do actually look ahead. I did look ahead and I noticed that the added tuple, we're going to be enhancing this. So I'm going to cheat and do the refactor now, which is the more automated way. And then when we actually have to start changing the arguments, that's when I'll start manipulating code a little bit more. But if you look, this thing here, see how kind of convoluted the click is? You basically got a bunch of definitions, and you got this giant workhorse thing, and then a bunch of sort of moving data around. We want to simplify this by refactoring it. So I'm going to take this whole thing, control period, I think was the way to do that. There it is. We're going to extract out of that a method. Boom. And now I'm extracting out of it. What did they want me to call it? They said get invoice amounts. Get invoice amounts. All right. That looks good. I like it. I like it a lot because what's happening now is that that giant work engine here has been pulled out and this looks a lot simpler now. So I'm going to run it, make sure I didn't blow anything up. I mean, I'm trusting the thing. There you go. Looks beautiful. All right. So it still definitely works. That, believe it or not, was that first section. The next thing was to add a tuple. So a tuple, here's the deal. What's coming out of this thing is only one value. What if you wanted more than one value to come out? I know for you guys that survived Python with me, we actually did that. We did that a couple of times. We actually had two things coming out now, or even more things. When you get it's a tuple is a fancy word for a record, by the way. Now it just dawns on me that I might want to look something up for you guys so you can kind of see it. But yeah, give me a second. I'm just going to look something up. I want to get the actual slide out so you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about. All right, so this is a kind of a neat example of a method that returns more than one thing, and this one returns future value and total interest. So because it's returning more than one thing, a tuple, a multi-valued, oh boy, not multi-valued, but it's so when I was growing up, these were called records. Before they were called records, they were actually called tuples. And by the way, some people say tuple too, which is totally fine, right? Tuple, tuple. But it's The classic definition is a composite data type. It's one thing made of multiple bits of data. But anyway, I'll just stick with tuple. So this guy's returning a tuple. Up here, we got to make sure that it's we've defined it as being able to return a tuple. So when I'm looking at my actual application, this one here, right now it's only getting 1 decimal, but I actually wanted to get 2 decimals. So if we look back at the slides there, I'm actually going to specify the 2 things that are coming out. It's interesting, by the way. All right. So okay, here we go. So decimal, I want it to get back the future, right? No, what's coming? I'm sorry, should be looking at this. What do you want to come up? The discount percent and the discount amount. Oh, well, we're totally not ready for that. All right, hang on, we're totally not ready for that. That's we got to get more code in there. Right now, we've just got the right. It's all discount percent. So what we probably need to do is we need to get that calculation in here that works out the discount amount, which is this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that whole line. I'm going to copy it. We're going to right after it, just before it returns, I'm going to go paste. All right. And then I'm going to make sure that discount amount is coming out. So discount percentage and then comma discount amount. So those 2 guys are coming out. Now, because those 2 guys are coming out, where I'm calling it, it better be ready to receive it, right? So in this case, well, you know what? I'm gonna do the Python thing on it first of all. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna do that. There's discount amount, but I got to make sure I define discount amount first. So I'm going to take discount amount, copy it, throw it up there, and assign it .0m. So there's discount amount that's being defined. I don't need it here anymore. It's mad here, by the way, because it's already been defined. So it's going, what are you doing? All right. So what is the squiggle for? All right, one more quick peek at that slide, because that slide had the calling. So you got to put in parentheses. That's what it's mad at. All right. How about that? There you go. Okay, so, oh, not anymore. Now you're mad at this one. Decimal does not contain a definition for the whatever. Oh yeah, the definition on here is only taking one thing. All right, that's cool. Back over to the slides again for a second, guys. I'm sorry. Of course, I had to have that in parentheses too. All right, you win. You win. You are 100% right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this thing. That's part of my argument. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put it in here, except I'm going to put the word decimal in front. Decimal. And then over here, I'm going to go decimal. And please, God, let all that work now. All right. So now everything's gone back to normal. Phew. All right. Except down here. Oh, because you got to be in parentheses too in that. Yep. Okay. All right. Cotomo and hubris on that one. All right. So here's the deal. I'm gonna slow down. So I want 2 values to come out, not just one of my method. And that happens quite a bit. You usually want to have an entire record. And later on, by the way, we're going to have like files and other stuff flying out too. So sometimes, you know, you don't just want one thing coming out. your method. So in this case, we want two things coming out in this method. Now, in this syntax, they have to be in parentheses, right? You could argue, by the way, that I probably don't necessarily need these two definitions. Actually, I don't think. If I actually put the word decimal here and decimal here, I wouldn't need these two. But to be honest, I'm too tired to try it out. But I'm pretty sure I don't need it. So these variables are getting ready. This method is going to get fired in. It's going to suck in this information, and it's going to spit out the two values into this sort of bag, into this tuple. Down here, when I defined the tuple, I had to make sure that I defined what was coming out properly, and I just did there. And I had to define what was going in properly, and I didn't do that, but the refactoring machine of the .NET IDE did that. We took this whole engine, it's working out the percent, but what we were missing is some way to get the discount amount. Thankfully, we already had subtotal coming in. We were working out the percent, so I just basically had to have a value. I called it discount amount, and I basically have that thing popping out there. Do I have it in the right order? Good, right order. So this guy's going to return the discount percent, discount amount. This should work. I'm going to run it. Probably won't, but I'm encouraged. So this is going to be an R. This is going to be 100, 100. Look at that. It's just like magic. All right, good deal. So that was the end of chapter 6. As we start moving forward now, the next thing we're going to be looking at are what happens when things go wrong events. We're going to be looking at exceptions. That's our sort of next port of call in this textbook.